Hey there, it's Transman Am. It is the end of my 7th month on testosterone, and I am at this point musically where I am kind of figuring out what I want to do as a professional musician, where I want to go, and that sort of thing. So I'm going to read to you something that I wrote this morning, and yeah, here's where I'm at. I fought so long against being a musician, but I've got a great ear, talent, and high standards. I can fake my way through guitar, bass, piano, and upright bass, but I'm an expert in none. I don't practice, and that's where talent has sailed me through. Even at the Eastman School of Music, I tasted everything and devoured nothing. There was so much personal struggle I was fighting against that I kept myself busy in order to keep myself at bay. Quality and meta understanding crept in and saturated my worldview. Outside of the elite musical sphere, I found way too many musicians full of their craft, immersed in music but lacking the ability to play in tune, harmonize, or tightly perform together. And yet these groups were successful and happy, despite lacking the three things I value most. One could even say that I require these three qualities, especially intonation, before I can sit back and listen to music. And in that ultimate move of snobbery, I will not play with these musicians, regardless of how much zeal and life and passion exudes from their fingers and lips. As a musician and a person, this is one of my greatest shortcomings. It keeps me from teaching beginners, unless it is in theory or piano where intonation is fixed, and from enjoying jams where players let loose and creativity flows. My concerns with execution have kept me from honing my own craft. I have not committed to the disciplined practice necessary to move past sheer talent. It also inhibits me to a point where improvising is restricted to perfect, safe choices that make logical rather than spiritual and musical sense. In my compositions, chord progressions are calculated, melodies are mundane, and the full sound is sterile and uninspiring. Victor Wooten advocates learning to play music and jam in the presence of experienced, fluent musicians. When you can make mistakes and learn to speak rather than just how to pronounce words and memorize speeches, you develop as a musician rather than as an instrumentalist. I wholeheartedly agree with this approach. For a while I gave up on myself as a musician and rejected this creative creature that I am. Those years afforded me absolutely necessary growth, reflection, and transition, and helped me quiet the chaos around me. In this new stillness, I hear the siren's call to play, play, play music, and so I return. I cannot shake the quality control so ingrained into my musical being. It's like being able to leap and bound but not crawl. I learned out of order, and I'm ready to connect the dots in my musical life so that I may be free to do for whatever creativity is lying within this soul of mine to be released. To get there, I cannot play in a vacuum the way I have for years and years and years. I need the context of other musicians to push, play, grow, air, and dare. But here's where I'm running into problems. Those whose execution quality I like and want to play with are already overbooked and committed. My goal is to be good enough to be able to jump into any of these groups as a sub and hit the ground running, but I'm not there yet. The groups where I can grow and play don't have the execution quality I'm used to and expect. When I jam with them, I'm so caught up on the execution details of rhythm, intonation, and theory that I feel anxiety rising and seizing my body. This has been a serious struggle for me with the anxiety and playing around musicians who aren't particularly refined. It's had me quit a couple gigs before because I can't handle my own reactions to it. It's bad. The middle ground I found is a group that I call the Conservatory Defectors. These are musicians meeting my quality standards but aren't in committed projects. When we get together, the biggest problem is that we don't know what to play. For myself, I don't know what to say musically or how to lead outside of just tossing out generic chord progressions and beats. What's missing are the fluent speakers who have a musical idea and have unleashed that free spirit. My biggest fear, realized when playing with these musical defectors, is that I have nothing to say or that nothing exists within. I see the next winter season as practicing my ass off, obtaining the facility to play without thinking. Come spring summer, I would love to join or form a group of folk musicians to spend 3 months creating killer music with the hope of full-time touring and such. I don't want to be the composer for the group, but seek multi-instrumentalist musicians who have a similar dream. I don't see this happening in Missoula, where I currently live, and I'm willing to move to make this a reality. If this is sort of the thing that you're interested in, contact me. You only live once. Dream big. Make it happen. So I'm going to probably rehash this a couple times in future videos, but I want to play in a band that tours, that puts out CDs, that makes a living via being a band. I want to do so with a group of people, whether it's meeting once every month for a weekend where we sit and we play for 10 hours a day, 2-3 days straight. I want to live in a house with 4 other musicians and play together and then create this amazing project. I want to immerse myself in these kind of cultural hotspots where I can find inspiration and love for music and the talent and drive to push me to that next level. Like I said, I know how to do a lot of things, but relaxing and laying back is one that I've struggled with for many reasons in multiple areas of my life. So that's the big thing that's coming up in my life, and I am doing this now, I guess, as a call out to musicians. If you think you've got the chops and you have a musical idea and want to have a guitarist, bassist, pianist, primarily a bassist, a harmony vocalist, work with you, send me a demo. I'm looking to put together a group probably for June of 2013 to see what we can do and what we can put together and where, and figure out how to make this dream a reality. If I don't find your project suitable for what I'm looking for, there are always other venues out there, and I can pass your stuff along to other musicians in my network. Am I crazy? Am I crazy to actually want to do this? I feel like it's possible. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking to myself. Maybe I always have been. Until next time.